Spoiler warning. Consume at your own risk. So this is actually a really good cold open for this episode. Much darker start than the first few episodes, but good lore about the monsters here. There's a good show not tell of the Witcher stereotype. He seems like he's just a mercenary. Oh, for the love of... lure it out into the open for better visibility. Like, yes, you had to go in here because that's where it was. Get back out. See what you're fighting. The showrunners don't have to show us what you're fighting, but please go about this in an intelligent way. Hey, Eskir's campaign is working. What's the opposite of a smear campaign? When Winfrey comes back up, exploring his scars, she's still a princess to Geralt's eyes. I love that his response to "you don't scare me" is just to intimidate the man quite effectively. Using Roach as collateral? Like, yeah, Roach is the only thing you really value, but come on. The symbols, again, the symbols are great on every title card. More lore with Nilfgaard causing problems again. In their defense, they can't kill the monster, but they could conceivably kill a king, so that's a more realistic plan. Ooh, that's a good response to the sympathy ploy. You know nothing of my pain? Oh, that hits hard. That's a good introduction for Triss. She's subduing the guards really easily, acting independent of the king, and she wants to save the monster, wants to cure her. They don't want the people to know that it bested a Witcher, so they were allowed to believe he ran with the money. That is bad for the guild's reputation, but they were trying to stop a panic, so it was for a good cause. Here Geralt shows that for a monster hunter, knowledge is as much a weapon as the steel and silver, perhaps even more so, especially in contexts like this. And now he has to deal with another monster princess. Well then, Istrid and Yen have made progress. That's a good piece of commentary, the fact that the sorceresses of Aretuza have to enchant themselves before going to court, unlike the Ban Ard boys. There's so much conceit in these lines. Like, that's a lot of backhanded insults, my man. Ah, that's a sweet connection between teacher and student that I didn't expect after the last episode. Geralt's insight is top-notch. Though on King Foltest's part, good job using the Witcher reputation to avoid answering. So the Yen timeline is further back than where we started with the Geralt timeline. I hate Stregobor so much. Yennefer is lashing out, but Tisea is so gentle with her right now, and she does give her all the info she needs. Geralt is still being motivated by Renfri even years later, especially with the monster princess in this context. You must have figured out several ways past the gods. Observe, rock, oldest trick in the book. Oh, good set dressing here. Geralt's brooding charm. This man is being so suspicious with what he's saying, but he almost does a good job of misdirecting them until he comes up short when Geralt brings up his sense and where Geralt had picked them up. No, I love that there's no nonsense with Geralt. As soon as he stops being reasonable, he's out cold. Ooh, Istrid and Yen's confrontation is bloody, but Istrid comes off at least 2 rungs lower than she does because of how he responds and what he's done so far. Yen getting the enchantment despite missing initiation. They're gonna ring her for that, but if it works, it works. Real sincerity between Foltest and Geralt here, even giving the king the brooch for the princess from one monster princess to another. Lots of really good empathy here. He does get the entire curse out of this man and figures out how to break it, though he got this curse from a sorcerer of the Brotherhood, and he really didn't know what he was doing. So he's an idiot, but he still has enough presence of mind to realize how the curse is going to have to be broken. Here's where Yen makes the choice that will forever drive her in the later seasons. The horror setup! Jesus! Is that an umbilical cord? Good touch mixing the Yen and the Striga's screams. The silver works, but it's not enough, and that was probably his only chance of restraining the Striga and making this somewhat easy. Oh, they cut her entire womb out? Oh! A smart move on Geralt's part, using the force spell to break the ground, and then blocking the door to the tomb, and just trying to occupy the Striga until dawn. Ooh, there's the real reason you're supposed to be asleep during this procedure. It's the transformation, not the removal. Smart move, locking the crypt the same way he locked the door. The way he looks demonstrates the difficulty he had. Good parallel with the naked, newly transformed women covered in schmutz. Ooh, Geralt almost dies. Both of these women are deadly. Ooh, in one move, Yen slights Fringilla, the Brotherhood, Tisea, and Istrid. That's a lot of enemies, but she gets what she had been promised. Hey, Triss saved Geralt. That's all life is to you? That's all it needs to be. Good way to show his stoicism. Yeah, he got the brooch back. We only see Ciri at the end of this episode, but what we do see is the forest drawing her across a dying ground, and we see Dara get shot, which sets up a sense of foreboding for the next episode, similar to what I feel about the swamp episode for Avatar: Last Airbender. And we immediately start with Ciri in the Brokilon forest. Jaskier's getting all the details on what happened this time. Simple talk works best with Geralt, I can appreciate that. When they slow and get killed. Though that does introduce the idea of Geralt retiring. Oh, how much he's changed. Oh, he's not really changed, but he's gotten colder. Like just in that line, I need no one, last thing I want is someone needing me. Mousak immediately kicked Jaskier's plans out the window. Also, shout out to the makeup doing a good job making his hair look thicker and darker, and he's actually drinking in this time, so he looks younger. To Mousak, yeah, he was drinking a lot now, wasn't he? Good setup here, Mousak advises the Skelligan crown, so he wasn't originally with Sintra, he was originally with Iced and Skellig. Sintra's the mightiest in the land? Good to know. Was originally supposed to be Iced's nephew and Calanthe's daughter. Iced proposed 3 times after her first husband died? Not many men in royalty would take being turned down 3 times very well. Gotta love Geralt saving Jaskier in his own way, and this way, he only has to do it once. Calanthe's aged down just like Mousak, also fresh from battle. That helps the lioness reputation. Calanthe pulls Geralt in, and while he indulges the Lord, he's truthful about his own deeds, which only makes him get pulled in further. Aw, iced flirting. The horror of Sintran's cleansing, though Dara has a point about thinking for herself. Good show of Calanthe trying to use Geralt, but he won't budge, no matter what she does. He even says that she'll do what she wants to do, but he won't budge on this. I guess he is done with being manipulated. This is your facade of decorum? Lady, wars have been started over less. Yennefer's seat in court versus the Queen's motherhood. That's a good confrontation of Yennefer's realities. Who you are versus what you can give. That's a good time hint that it's been 3 decades since Yennefer got her enchantment, and she's just spent it cleaning up political messes. Will someone shut the Queen up? Ooh, she ran out of chances? How very Henry VIII. So that's why there's so few of them left. That's a gnarly curse. Also the way Iced says bollocks to that. Good way to show the law of surprise. Not telling us what it is yet, but seeing how everyone reacts, we know it's important. Hey, that shows Geralt's skill there. He cut below the reinforcement of that poleaxe. Instead of being disinterested, Pavetta cares about this one, even though I don't care about Pavetta. Kill them both, lady. They're trying. Iced is so cool. Hey, Calanthe saves Iced, and she stops the fight since none of these other people need to be fighting. Seems I was right about the Queen. She dies, but she tried to give up the baby first. And poor Yen tries, but the baby is still killed through her. Dooney giving up his claim after saving the king and hearing it was a child. Also, nice hint that that's where Ciri came from. And there's the law of surprise defined for us. It's an honest gamble as old as mankind itself, but it's binding with destiny. So you honor destiny or you unleash its wrath. Though, I think Calanthe just doesn't like it. She doesn't like being told anything, least of all by destiny. Geralt isn't afraid of destiny, since he's fought every monster and has dealt with probably every really bad situation. He says that destiny helps people believe there's an order to this mess that we call life, but there isn't. However, he does knock Calanthe's hopes on the head with saying a promise must be honored, true for commoners as it is for queens. That's dirty, Calanthe! Like mother, like daughter. Cool power, though. She's still annoying, though. Jaskier taking the opportunity. Geralt and Mousak trying to intervene. since they're the closest other than Iced and the Queen. Not really because of what Pavetta is doing, but because of the windstorm that's ravaging throughout the rest of the throne room. Oh, that's clever, Iced. The Sea Hounds of Skellig backing the 2 betrothal vows? Since she really has no choice but to say yes to you now, at least you both actually are into each other. Clever both personally and politically. Ciri drinks the waters and they don't work. That's an interesting sign that she's not normal. Yen, that is so very skeptical about life. The music with the baby's burial. Oh, wow. It's the details that really show you who Geralt is. Like, there's a candle in every hand but his. Hey, the curse is broken! You can stop kissing now! Please! Please stop kissing! Oh, Geralt claims Law of Surprise, and immediately Pavetta is revealed to be pregnant. That's gotta be like double the Destiny whammy right there. Or the Child of Surprise of a Child of Surprise. Destiny squared. Mousak staying to guide Pavetta, who has no idea how to use her powers. Geralt's right, he is a good man. Geralt is bound by this now, and Mousak is trying to convince him to honor Destiny, to not drop this on their heads, but he still doesn't believe. He could do this for his friend, he could do this for the country, he wouldn't have to suffer anything. It would be a different life, he wouldn't have as much freedom. He wouldn't have as much hardship, but he wouldn't have as much freedom. But he still wants Mousak to take care of himself. There's Fringilla! Even though Mousak is captured, he's still doing stuff. Ciri has to drink from the source, but I don't think that was the effect they intended. How eldritch do you have to be for a talking tree in the middle of a cosmic desert to ask you what you are? But that's the first half. And yeah, that's about it. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace! Spoiler warning.